Hello, my chickadees. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, today's stream is a little later than we normally do for a Wednesday stream. I apologize for that, but I figured we could still have at least a short little stream. Alright, I'm just working on getting the chat pulled up. How's everybody doing today? You having a good Wednesday? It's a little bit chilly here again. Goodness, it's... Hopefully we'll finally see if we can find Caspian today. The game was taking a little bit to, like, upload, so that's also a reason why I was a little late. Alright. Oh, hello, Nightjar! Hey! I'm glad you're sort of doing good today. Alright, let me just pop out chat here. Oh, hey, Somber Scythe. Hey! I don't think the Twitch handles it well whenever I dual stream. So, because the bitrate is so far down. Alright, I got both the chats up. So we can go ahead and dive in. What kind of... Look at the time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ohilia. I'm sorry. Yeah, the game was updating. And, yeah, we can have a small stream today at least, okay? Like an hour-ish stream. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's see. Load. We can have a short little stream. Alright, here we go. I opened my eyes just enough to see the gentle sunlight rolling over my bed. My eyelids felt sluggish and heavy, and my body sore from lack of sleep. I spent most of the time thinking over what I said to Fawn, and what I didn't say to him. If I just did something different, said something better. No, let's not go down that rabbit hole again. I did my best, right? I rubbed my eyes and forced myself out of bed. Judging by the view outside, it must already be late morning. It's been a while since I've seen Leos or Sign. Maybe I could talk to one of them about it. I'll find Leo. Sign would probably be able to help. Sign would know more about relationships, but he might turn everything into sexual-ish. Leos knows more about, like, Fawn's attitude and everything, so maybe Leos? What do you guys think? Yeah, that is right. That is your other account, Somber. Thank you for, like, pulling both up. That's really awesome. You're a rock star. Honestly, this is good. I just burnt my wrist 20 minutes ago, so now I can forget the pain. Oh, no. Aurelia! Aurelia, I hope you put some medicine on that. Ouch. What happened? I mean, I've burned myself all the time trying to, cook. Sign Leos is clueless. Leos. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna have to put up a poll because I think I might have to flip a coin if you guys are. Let's see, start a poll. Okay, there's a poll. If we get a 50-50 on this, I'm either gonna have to flip a coin or just go with my choice. You guys are split at the moment. I put toothpaste I was cooking and pressed the meat on the pan, and the pan flared up and burnt me. Oh no. Oh no. Were you able to put anything on it? Like aloe vera or burn away or something? Hope it's not too bad. Oh my gosh, you guys are 50-50. Okay, yeah, Leos is kind of as clueless as we are. And Sign would, know more about relationships, even though he might, like, make a joke out of it. We like Leos more. So that's why we should go after Leos, but Leos is going to be just as clueless. But he knows more about Fawn. Oh my gosh. Fawn, not Dawn. He knows more about Fawn, so maybe he'll know that Fawn actually likes us. I agree. You agree with which one? Man, if Sign would just be a straight shooter and talk to us. Yeah, he doesn't know about love, though. Maybe I'm gonna quick save. Maybe if Sign will be a straight shooter and actually talk to us and not pull it out into a joke. Alright, let's try Sign. Sign. We are so clueless, so I guess a blonde twink, I guess. Sign. He's smart and he knows a lot about this kind of thing. He'll be able to help. I just have to find him. There's 3 people in this chat. The lurker needs to vote. Well, too late. I already proceeded. There we go. After searching the lobby and coming up empty-handed, I found my way outside into the snowy winter of Sidcahem. Sign was still nowhere in sight. Dejected, I walked alone for a while, lost in my thoughts.
Is that a certain Raen I spy? What's such a cutie doing looking so dejected?
Okay, is the audio up high enough for you guys, or do I need to turn up a little higher to hear them clearly? Because I turn it down when I play other things. I'll turn it up a little more. You guys need more, just please let me know. Because the voice acting is spectacular.
Sign! I was looking for you. Oh my. Is it finally time? You're here to confess your undying love for me?
Oh, rear it in there.
I'm not ready, Raen. Let me prepare myself for a moment.
My arch nemesis, Blonde Twig. That coat is way too big for him. It kind of is.
Or not. Let me guess. Fawn? Is it that obvious? Yeah. Tell me what happened.
Slowly, I recounted what happened with Fawn the night before. Stein listened intently with a serious face the entire time, not interrupting even once. That's unlike him.
Wow, I'm seriously surprised right now. I mean, he wanted you enough to try to kill me, right? What? I don't think those two things are connected. They definitely are. There must be some kind of reason for him to turn you down. Something we're not seeing. Wait a minute. Look.
I pointed in the distance where I could see two blue-haired people walking side by side. It was definitely Fawn and his sister. Literally, these voice actors are my favorite. Stein's voice actor is always voicing the horror I recognize them from My Burning Heart. I have that game. I haven't played it yet, but I have that game.
That's Fawn and Annie. Annie? What? He has a secret girlfriend? No, it's his sister. I bumped into her yesterday.
Yeah, Fawn went dull yondier, and I was here for it.
Oh. Well, that's pretty suspicious. How so? You're really not worried? I mean, he obviously ran away from home and didn't have a good relationship with his family. He avoids any talk of his past. So, what does she want? Well...
The more I thought about it, the more uneasy I became. Oh, can we play it on Patreon? I think so. Whenever we finish our current game, I was going to hunt out some games and let everybody vote on it.
I'll follow after them. Wait, Raen!
Before he could stop me, I ran through the crowds and tailed the two. As I got closer, I could hear snippets of their conversation.
What have you been doing all of this time? Where were you?
Annie guided Fawn down a nearby alley. Out of range, I couldn't hear Fawn's answer. As if I was undercover, I peeked around the corner. They stood, still chatting. At first, it didn't sound any different to before. But then...
Why did you do it? Why did you murder them?
Dude, Annie, back up. Back up a moment. She was like, why did you do it? Oh, Annie, you're looking evil at the moment, sweetie. She's cute, but at what cost? What? Surely I didn't hear that right.
I didn't...
You're exactly as I remember. You pretend to be quiet and innocent. You're a monster. A freak.
Okay, we need to intervene right now, okay? You're destroying our boy.
No. That's not true.
They won't be waiting for you.
She'd pull something out of her sleeve. It glistened in the sunlight.
No!
Oh, did he summon the fire to defend himself? I mean, I don't care if she got hurt. She freaking deserved it talking to her brother, her long-lost brother like that. But, dude.
Stay away from me. Leave me alone.
His true power. Learn what Fawn keeps hidden. I knew it. I called it. Fire flared up from the ground between the two siblings, creating a barrier that kept Fawn safe. Annie fell backwards, the dagger she just pulled from her clothes thrown to the side. She looked up at him with hate-filled eyes. Her glare was so sharp it could nearly cut.
You disgusting demon! Murderer!
It's not true. It was an accident.
Fawn screamed at the top of his lungs, covering his ears as if he couldn't bear to hear another word. Annie stayed on the ground, scrambling back from the encroaching flames. That fire. It came from... Fawn?
Fawn! Raen? It's okay. I'm here now. Come on, let's go.
Are you blind or something? Look at him. He's a monster. He murdered my parents.
It's his parents too, you idiot! So a druid? Maybe? It's his parents too. He's been hiding this guilt for a long time, you... Ugh. I mean, I understand her being upset her parents died, but put it on his point of view. He clearly didn't mean to do it. And it's his parents as well. He ran away to stay away from people so nothing else can happen.
What? No, stop talking.
Burnt my father alive and drove my mother to take her own life. He should have been the one to die.
Fawn? Please. It's not true. You have to believe me.
I believe you, baby. I believe you, baby.
Not you. Not even you can accept me.
He turned on the spot and ran as if his life depended on it. I was left alone with his deceitful sister. But to pull a knife out at your own brother... Exactly! Exactly! She's been holding a grudge against him. It makes me wonder if he was showing a little bit of the power when he was younger and they all bullied him. That makes me wonder that. Fawn, just add to the body count. Yes! Annie is one of Fawn's 7 sisters. She despises Fawn deeply and blames him for the death of their parents. Oh my god. Go after the baby. Don't let it be alone. I quickly picked up the dagger and stashed it in my clothes, not letting her keep that.
You feel good now? Have you made yourself feel better?
I'll feel better when his corpse is 6 feet under.
No. No. No one's touching our boy. You better pack up your bags and go back to Cliffspire, okay? Because you are not welcome here anymore, girl. You touch him and we will make sure that is your corpse 6 feet under. Look at Raen. Look at Raen. I think he agrees. Look at that. Look at that. He is so mad.
Don't ever come near him again.
Who are you to tell me what I can and can't do? He's my brother. You're just some nobody.
He is our lover, okay? So you better buckle that lip of yours and go before you become the corpse. I swear.
I may just be some nobody. I'm more of a family to him than you ever were. Go back to your backwater town and don't come back here.
Hell yeah, Raen. Hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah, get the weapons out stat. Dawn has fire powers, and his sister has the power of making me lose feminism. Leaving Annie behind, I jumped over the dwindling flames and chased after Fawn. At first, he was nowhere to be seen. Oh my god, I am loving Raen right now. I am loving him. He is doing all the good moves. I searched around the area, down the side streets and alleyways, and eventually came out back where I started my search. Crouched into a corner with his head on his knees was a trembling, blue-haired boy. I reached out to touch him, and he flinched away before looking up at me with tear-filled eyes.
Come any closer. I don't want to hurt you too. I know you never do anything to hurt me. Come on, stand up.
I held out my hand for him once again. He looked at it then, back to my face, hesitating.
Why would you? Why would you still come for me? After all that she said. Because I trust you.
He reached out and took my hand tentatively, gently, as if he was sure I'd withdraw at any moment. Instead, I gripped it tightly and pulled him up so we were standing eye to eye. He pulled his hand away from me and looked at the ground.
Don't touch me. It's okay. I'm not scared of you. Everything is going to be fine. It's not okay. Everything she said was true. I'm a monster and a murderer. I shouldn't be alive.
Don't say that, babe. Don't say that, babe.
I'm being punished. I shouldn't have ever come here. Shouldn't have dared to dream of a future. I shouldn't have enjoyed my time traveling with you. I don't deserve any of this. You're not either of those things. You wouldn't understand.
He broke down in a fit of wails and tears, refusing any attempts at consolement. For a time, I just watched on, a feeling of uselessness washing over my entirety. Finally, his crying stopped, but all that was left was a hollowness that I couldn't describe. I moved closer and closer until I wrapped my arms around him and held him tightly. He gripped onto me and balanced his head on my shoulder.
Everything will be okay. You're not a monster. You're the Fawn that I trust and believe in. The one I love, too. You should find someone else. Someone that's actually lovable. I don't know if I'm even a person.
Baby.
Nothing would make me think of you like that. No matter what happened.
His arms wrapped around me even tighter. His face dug into my shoulder even harder.
I love you too. Ever since we first met, I knew you were special, but I never thought you could possibly like me back. Really? You do? Thank you. I mean it, really. I promise I'll look after you. You don't have to tell me what happened, and I won't ask you to, but I'm always here to listen when you're ready to talk. Okay.
I pulled back from Fawn and looked at his face. He didn't look happy by any stretch of the imagination, but he seemed a little brighter than before. A tiny bit of life had returned to him.
Why don't we start by getting Sign and Leos before looking for Caspian? Actually, would you rather stay back in your room whilst we go? I don't want to rush you. No. This is important to you. I want to be there. Come on. We'll go together.
I gently took his hand in mine and we walked back to the Silver Willows. Oh, our boy! Raen, tell him your heart burns for him. Fawn took one look at Raen in his underwear and knew Raen was special. I mean, that is how they met. He saw the specialness right away. A blue-haired woman sprawled out over the ground, surrounded by scorch marks. Her tears wouldn't stop falling despite her pleas. She pounded her fist to the ground, anger and sadness mixing around inside of her, filling up her mind.
Damn it. Damn everything.
And the poor girl is left alone, thrown to the side by her brother once again.
Hello? I don't think we met this person. Hello? His hair and eyes make me think of Discount Vampire Sebastian. But that's not him. He's still asleep right now. Hello?
Who's there?
You want revenge, don't you? You crave it, like an animal starved. I'll give it to you.
The what? Hello? I see, I'm not the only one who thinks he's handsome. I'm coming, my love. Hello, hot man. He is. It's like, dude. Oh, and that voice. He had a good deep voice. Like, who? That can't be Caspian, right? Caspian, they said, was more like humble, so that has to be like another demon, doesn't it? Oh gosh, I didn't even read that. No! I didn't even read that. I got distracted. I expected him to pull away, hide away from the others, but he held on tightly. Sitting in the lobby was Leos and Sign. As usual, Sign was trying his hardest to annoy and humiliate Leos. He looked like he was triumphant too.
Hey guys.
Look, he's already blushing. What did you do to the man? Caspian is old and looks like Raen, so it's gotta not be that. But look, he's already... Look at that smirk, but he's already totally like, oh, I'm done. Means I get a good chance of a demon boyfriend, yay! They both look down at our interlocked hands before going back to their bickering. Seems they don't mind much.
Finally back from your date. That's right. To cut a long story short, it's time to go find Caspian. I know where he is.
What are we waiting for then? Lead the way. Oh, and do try not to get us lost.
Yeah. I'll try my best.
The further I walked, the faster my steps became. I could hear my heart beating loudly in my ears and my breath stuck in my throat. I'm close. I'm so close. Did Leos finally lose his innocence? Maybe. I wouldn't doubt it. Oh, definitely is what you guys think. The other followed behind me, chatting. Apart from Fawn, he stayed by my side quietly.
Oh, by the way, in case you forgot, that festival is on later too. I saw them setting up for it earlier. Could be a little fun, even if you find Caspian here.
Okay, let's just point out how much taller than them Leos is. Leos is a full head taller than all of them. Such a string bean.
I'd rather throw myself down the mountain than go with you.
Aw, Leos, you're too sweet. Here I was thinking it was about time to introduce you to my parents, too.
Oh, gross. I don't want to meet them.
Probably a good call.
So they took their big coats off, and now they put them back on. That's actually a really good detail that they have them off when they're indoors. And then it goes back on when they're outdoors. That's actually a really good detail. The street became quieter and quieter until we hit a side of town a little different from the rest. It was smaller, more humble. It almost reminded me of home. We split up and searched the nearby stores. No, not this one. Not this one either. A hanging sign came into view. Rocking back and forth in the breeze, it showed the moon overlapping with the sun. Eclipse. That's it!
This is it.
Oh. Jinx! The others rejoined me as I pushed open the door. As we entered the room, we noticed a man behind a counter with his back turned to us. He was bent down and mostly out of view. He didn't stand or turn as we came in.
Welcome. What can I help you with?
I'm looking for someone named Caspian. I heard he worked here.
Well, you found him. What can I do for you?
Oh, that is definitely his dad. That is definitely his dad. Look at him. Honestly, sign is me in a family photo with my brothers. I'm the oldest. Oh, you're the littlest. Little did we know he's wearing high heel boots to compensate his height. That is so his dad. Look at that. Like, the eye colors are different, but, like, face shape, hair, eye shape, I mean, yeah. It's like, Dad? He finally stood up and turned to face us, a smile on his lips. But what I saw wasn't what I expected. By the looks of it, it wasn't what he expected either. We stared at each other, desperately trying to find an answer amidst the confusion. The silence stretched out, more awkwardly by the second.
You two look awfully alike. You're Caspian?
I'm sorry. I think I'm seeing things.
He rubbed at his eyes, blinked a few times, and stared at me once again.
There must be some mistake. Where did you come from?
Aurelia Cavella.
Uh-oh. Daddy, I'm home. Dilf detected.
You couldn't be.
Oh, gods of mercy. You couldn't be. Rain?
Yeah.
This can't be happening. Am I seeing ghosts now? Is that it? Haven't I suffered enough? What a cruel joke showing you to me now. Maybe if I pinched myself.
He reached out and touched me, then sighed loudly.
I thought you were dead.
I didn't even know you existed.
I can't believe it.
Rain, I am your father.
My own son
Meet
would
Caspian
appear in
and
front
Sid
of me as a grown
Cahem.
man.
It's like, Daddy, I'm home and I have a boyfriend. His name is Fawn. I am your father. He's trying to remember if he pulled out. Oh, oh hell yeah. He knew his name. He knew he existed. Apparently, he was told that he was dead. I can't believe it. After all these years, my own son would appear in front of me as a grown man.
Maybe I really have gone insane. That would make more sense right now.
He leaned against the counter, barely able to stand.
I've been on a journey searching for you all this time. I never realized.
Let's give these two some alone time.
The other three turned to leave, but I quickly grabbed a hold of Fawn's hand. Daddy, meet my boyfriend.
Stay. Please.
Fawn nodded solemnly while Leos and Sign retreated from the awkward encounter.
Are you really my father? Prince. Prince Caspian?
No one's called me a prince in a very long time. I don't think I deserve a title like that anymore.
He rubbed at his forehead as if a headache was coming.
Aurelia Cavella. I'd almost forgotten the smell of the fields, the sight of the palace. It's been nearly 20 years, Rain. So much must have changed.
I have so much to tell you, but I don't even know where to begin. Aurelia Cavella. It's...
I swallowed, thinking back to my time in Aurelia Cavella, topped with my newfound knowledge.
I think it's dying. I don't know how much longer things can stay the same there.
How are you like 40 and have no wrinkles? Magic. I mean, yeah. Yeah, he looks very good for 40.
The speaker says everything is under control. That if we pray hard enough, the crops will survive next time. But I don't believe him. Not anymore.
I recalled what happened with the speaker and our journey so far, the archives, my exile, and my journey to find him. Caspian's face became strange every time I mentioned the speaker. Yeah, that was so your lover, wasn't it? That you two had something going on. Yeah, your lover kicked me out, Dad. Oh, I want to play the prequel so bad. Caspian's face became strange every time I mentioned the speaker, but he stayed quiet and listened to my story.
The speaker... You make it sound like he has sole control over Aurelia Cavella.
That's right. I've never known any different.
But even without me there, you should have...
How was I meant to know? I was abandoned and brought up in an orphanage.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be. Listen, I need your help. I've come all this way in search of answers, and you're my only hope.
I rolled up my sleeve and showed him the markings to him. His face visibly drained of color. Then he rolled my sleeve back down.
I can't help you. It's been too long. It's not my life anymore.
Explain what the markings mean, please.
Please, you're the only one I've got.
No,
For 12 days, I have labored and struggled, traveling across the entire continent. 12 days. Finally, I have you cornered.
What? 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 The divine speaker? Hello? What? How are you here? How? Dude, you just appear. Just appear in the middle of the freaking conversation. The door doesn't even open. We don't hear nothing. And he just like, poof. What? What? I was getting a Drankohilia. You about made me spew it all over the room. Oh my gosh. So what were you two up to? Did he come out of your bedroom? He might have. He really might have. Plot twist. Oh god. Oh god. I was not expecting this. This was like the very last thing on my bingo card, okay? Okay. For 12 days I have labeled and struggled, traveling across the entire continent. 12 days! Finally, I have you cornered. Okay, the door slammed open. Okay. The door slammed open and a robed figure stepped in. One I knew well, despite him seeming quite different to usual. Imagine finding out your booty call is trying to kill your son. The speaker. His eyes locked with Caspian's, and both of their expressions turned dark with surprise. They stared at each other, disbelief showing on their faces. Again, no words left our lips, as if anything that could be said had shriveled up and died. Caspian reached out, like he expected the speaker to take his hand.
Who?
Emil.
Oh, his real name. At that, he turned and ran, slamming the door back closed. In an instant, Caspian chased him out the door, leaving Fawn and I to ourselves. Okay. Let's process this for a moment. The divine speaker bust open the door like, I have been looking for you for 12 days. I have crossed this entire entire nation looking for you, and I found you. And then they lock eyes, and he's like, oh shit. And he just books it. Oh my god. Oh my god, not so big and bad now, are we? Oh god. That was the last person he expected to see. My man came and went, yeah. And then Caspian's just like, wait a minute. And chased after him. Yep, they so had a relationship going.
What just happened?
Yes, exactly, Fawn. It gets stranger and stranger.
So, what do we do?
Chase after them?
Should we follow them? Well, better than standing around here.
Yeah, chase after them.
Emil, please wait.
Let's get the tea. The fledgling prince crashed through the streets, chasing his target with fervent desperation.
Let's talk. Emil!
Like a game of cat and mouse, neither one wanting to give up, they ran and ran until... He caught him! He caught him! Oh my god, he's still so gorgeous. Look at him. Look at him. He got him!
All this time you let me believe you were dead.
His voice cracked. 1,000 times had he run over the scenario in his head. Yet now he couldn't find the words to give it to him.
I was dead. In everything except for name.
A silence passed between the two. Not awkward, but as if neither could possibly think of any words to repair the crack in their relationship.
You've grown your hair out again, and gotten so tall.
A lot of things change in 18 years.
Everything changes. Except, you still kept the moon I gave you.
Don't fool yourself. It's habit, nothing else.
Oh, did he give him that? Emil tried to rip his arm away, to place an invisible divide between the two, but Caspian held on tight.
Coming all this way was a waste of time. I don't know what I was thinking.
Okay, guys, just give me a second, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Look at the alpha chasing his omega. Me totally not looking at Caspian boob window and took a picture. He has to show off his long lost bae. Coming all this way was a waste of time. I don't know what I was thinking.
I heard about what happened to Raen. Why did you chase him this far?
I don't know at this point. Chasing after a shadow. It was a mistake. Forget I ever came here.
I don't think he's gonna forget that.
Wait, Emil. You came all this way. We should talk. Even if it's just for a moment.
You've had your moment, and I don't feel compelled to give you another. I never wanted to see you again.
Excuse me? Wait a second. Do you think you're the innocent one here? You killed her, and I thought you killed Raen too. Hell, I would have been dead if I didn't run.
What happened? You killed her, and I thought you killed Raen too. Did you kill your wife? I mean, I'm supposed your wife, and supposedly your son. What happened?
It only happened because of what you did to Lucius. He was like a father to me.
He's the least innocent one out of all of us. You should know that by now. No. I didn't come here to argue with you. No matter whose fault it was, it didn't stop me from thinking about you every day since we last met. Please, come back to my store. We can talk about it, even if it's just for a bit. Please.
Sign, Leos, come with us.
Picking up the other two along the way, we raced through the streets behind Caspian and the speaker, trying to catch up to them.
Even if it's just for a bit, please.
What the hell is going on?
So wasn't jealous that he didn't get pregnant instead of your wife.
You're attracting way too much attention out here. Can we take this back to the shop?
They both nodded solemnly, looking as if they were two kids in trouble with their parents. I set them both down and stood in front of them.
Can someone please tell me what exactly is going on? Do you two know each other? And you? Have you been following me? That's creepy.
Look how tall he is! Holy crap! He's so tall.
Why did you kick me out? Why do you want me dead?
With all my questions hanging in the air, I stared them both down, waiting for the answers.
I can at least explain how we know each other. We grew up together. There's not much more to it than that. As the future king and speaker, we were raised in the same household from birth. There were some complications, and we had a small falling out.
A small falling out? Sounds a little bigger than that. Ah, the classic. Raen is already getting embarrassed because of his dad. He's tall, but he's a bottom. Yeah, I can kind of see him as a bottom, especially after that interaction.
Small? You're still as much of a jokester as before. You and that woman killed him.
Who? You're not making any sense. Tell me the whole story.
Your mother... God, where to begin?
He took a deep breath, looking as if he couldn't work out exactly what to say.
When Emil and I were younger, we snuck out of Aurelia Cavella for a while. No, it was more like I dragged him along with me, but it was fun. When we returned, the royal family had been wiped out, save for me.
Okay, so you took a little like joy walk out into the world, and you come back just to discover everybody's been dead. What a moment to leave.
An accident, Lucius said. He was closest to them, being the speaker at the time. Anyone could tell you there was foul play involved, and I know he was the one who did it. He was always power hungry.
There was never any proof. You just wanted to find someone, anyone, to blame.
There was plenty of proof, you just didn't want to see it! He would have killed me too if I were there. In fact, my survival didn't make him happy in the slightest.
Why? Why would he do that?
Isn't it obvious? He wanted full control over Aurelia Cavella. He wasn't interested in working with anyone else.
Yeah, it was definitely not an accident.
He was no different to any of the speakers that came before him. They get stuck in their own heads, thinking there's some almighty god that everyone else should bow down to.
What happened to this Lucius then?
You want to know what happened to him? Your mother killed him in cold blood.
It was self-defense, and you know it. If she hadn't done it, he would have killed us first. Mia. She was a kind soul. So gentle, caring. All she wanted was to protect Raen and I. Even you. His influence over you was always too powerful.
And then what happened?
Isn't it obvious? He saw everything, and he flew into a rage. Demanded that all three of us be killed since we acted against the speaker. Mia... she died. I thought you died too. I was injured, but I had enough energy in me to run. If I knew you survived, I would have taken you as well. I managed to reach Stagwich before I collapsed. An old man found me and nursed me back to health. I wanted to go back, but I knew I'd never be able to return. So I made my way to Sidkeum. The long way, I might add. I stopped in at a few other places along the way.
Okay. That explains why you left. And why you don't get along. But...
Look at how shook Fawn is. He's like, damn, I thought I had family problems. I mean, yeah.
You set me up, didn't you? Why did Why'd you want me dead?
Did he seriously just click his tongue at me? How is he so immature? The speaker acting like that.
Show us the markings on your arm again. Go on, take a look. You know as well as I do what they mean.
If you know, then why should I have to answer?
This is an old scripture. They called it the writing of the gods. This is your judgment given to you as a gift.
But why? My judgment's never been under question.
It's your destiny. You were always meant to be the next speaker. That's what these markings mean.
What? What? He's supposed to be the next divine speaker. Okay, I did not see that one coming. I was like, okay, he has a curse on it, or it's telling him he's gonna be the next king. He's supposed to be the next divine speaker and take Emil's place. What? Caspian and the speaker told me the truth. These markings weren't a curse at all. Instead, the words written in old scripture called the writing of the gods told my true judgment. I was supposed to become the next speaker.
I suppose since someone didn't pass on the message, they took it upon themselves to tell you.
Oh. 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 Does that mean Emil knew? And he didn't tell him? Or did... Oh no.
What? But why? All my life, I've been told that.
I lied. That's all there is to it.
I thought I was out here defying my destiny, paving my own path. But you're telling me it was all a lie anyway?
So they pulled the Lion King and tried to kill the true king, apparently. I smell it. I smell it.
It seems so.
That still doesn't answer my question. Why would you lie to me?
I did as I was commanded by the divine.
Gods? They told you to lie to me? To follow me? Why?
I don't owe you any answers.
Well, maybe the gods want him to break them out. Because remember, they're like trapped in there.
Emil.
I don't know why. I've never known why. Since I was born, their voices were always around me, influencing my every move, consuming my entire being. It took all of my effort just to have a sense of self past their constant chatter. The older I got, the worse it became. Their whispering had turned to yelling and screaming, their words no longer intelligible. But once I was instated as speaker, when their voices had reached a point where I thought I would go insane, a single voice called out to me. He said he would stay by my side and keep the others quiet.
Oh, man. That sounds really rough. Could you imagine constantly having a whole group of voices yelling and talking at you all at once? And then they get to the point where they're like screaming at you? Oh, God. Oh, God. That would be so frustrating. And it's amazing he didn't go insane. But which voice was trying to keep the others quiet?
For the first time in my life, I was blessed with near silence. One voice in my head was nothing compared to the crescendo from before. Since then, I was blessed with near silence, but that changed once I reached Sid Cahem. That last lone voice disappeared, and for the first time in my life, it was silent. Completely, utterly silent.
Because you got out of range of them, I think, bud. Oh, wow. The divine speaker, who is referred to as Emil by Prince Caspian, is the sole ruler of Aurelia Cavella. I thought him gifted with the ability to speak to the gods, but as it turned out, every gift is a curse to someone else. In truth, ever since he was a child, his mind was consumed by the voices of the gods trapped within Aurelia Cavella, leading him to grow hateful towards his role. Once he became the speaker in his youth, a single voice reached out to him and offered him a deal, although Emil was never made aware of the cost of accepting. Since then, only that one voice has been inside Emil's head, holding the others at bay. He followed me from Aurelia Cavella all the way to Sid Kaham.
But his was the voice that insisted I did what I did to you.
I wasn't done! Oh, God. He followed me from Aurelia Cavella all the way to Sid Kaham, as commanded by this mysterious god. At first he held a deep anger towards me, but over his travels he came to reflect on why that was, and regretted his actions. Once he reached Sid Kaham, that single god that clung onto his disappeared, leaving Emil with silence for the first time in his entire life. Emil grew up along Caspian, and the two used to be inseparable until Lucius came in between them. In the end, the relationship ended with Caspian thought dead, and Emil left alone for the rest of his life. Oh, goodness. So I'm starting to bet Emil's not going to want to go back, because he's getting silenced for the first time in his life. But his was the voice that insisted I did what I did to you, not that I disagreed.
Silent. Truly. After what you told me when we were younger, I thought it was impossible.
A single voice speaking to him. I believe you for now. Why should I believe you? I think he's telling us the truth, because it makes sense. I think he's telling us the truth.
Okay, I believe you. Maybe some crazy voice in your head told you to kill me. But didn't you even think for 1 second that was probably a pretty bad idea?
Okay, you guys agreed with my choice. Good. Wait, the voice, that woman that was pestering Raen, she was the voice of the speaker, maybe, and she passed on to Raen because he's the next speaker. That's why I couldn't hear anything. Maybe.
And you just ran away from it all?
I love it. They're both being scolded by someone half their age.
I've come all this way, and what now? This is meant to be my answer? A destiny I never asked for. Raen.
I'll return home tomorrow. I have no business hanging around someplace like this. It was a mistake, and one I'll try to forget quickly.
Oh, poor guy. He's got to go back into the voices.
Come with me if you want, or don't. It makes no difference to me. We can pretend nothing happened and you can go back to your old life.
He stood and left the room. His face was missing that harsh edge. He looked sad.
I'll go find him later. I don't think he has anywhere else to stay.
How did he find us anyway? I don't know.
The gods told him.
I need to think about what to do. Fawn, let's just leave.
Raen,
What?
you don't have to go back to Aurelia Cavella, you know. There's always the option to stay here. I've missed out on so much of your life already.
To go home or to stay here? Can I even go back to my old life so easily?
Thank you. I'll think about it. I'll come back tomorrow with my answer.
When we left, the sun had already begun to set over Sid Kaham. The others might have been talking to me, but I didn't notice. I was too caught up in my own mind to try to weigh up the options. What do I do? What's the right choice? Just Just who am I meant to be? All this time I thought I was fighting against my destiny, proving that even with a judgment like mine I could make a difference. But I'd just been running away, it seemed. I was no different.
Rain! Rain, are you in there?
No, he isn't. Honestly, if the dad didn't leave, all that stress would have made him get wrinkles. Rain is like 18. What life did he miss? Oh, goodness.
Huh?
Yeah, that's like a big decision, because he just discovered he's supposed to be the next divine speaker. So if he goes back, does that mean he will become the divine speaker?
You'll run into someone if you keep that up. And we all know you have a problem with bumping into people.
Hey, I know how we can liven things up a bit. Why don't we go check out the celebrations?
I don't really want to, but I don't want to bring everyone else down either.
Maybe just for a little while. Yay! Come on, follow me!
I could tell the sign was trying to cheer me up. His smile didn't reach his eyes. He grabbed Leos's arm and started dragging him away. Strangely enough, he didn't seem to argue for once. I looked back towards Fawn. For both of us, today had been tough, but he still managed to show me his smile. I should do the same.
Shall we?
He reached forward and took my hand, and we followed after the other two. The festival was packed with people from all walks of life, coming together as one for a single night of festivities and fun. The atmosphere seemed warm and uplifting, much nicer than the ball. Yet, I still felt disconnected from it. I didn't belong. The only saving grace was Fawn. The physical connection between us helped to ground me, and make me feel like the ground wouldn't be pulled out from under me at any second.
Hey, Rain!
He held a mask over his face and jumped in front of Leos. Startled, he hid it out of Sign's hand and leaped backwards.
Cut it out.
Make me.
Sign tried to keep things lively, even Leos did. But it wasn't enough. My mind kept wandering back to Caspian and the speaker. At the very least, it seemed that Leos and Sign were closer now, like they come to some kind of understanding.
Are you okay?
I shook my head.
I don't think I am. Do you want to talk about it? Yeah.
I waved a sign and pointed to Fawn. Seeming to get the idea, he gave me a thumbs up and dragged Leos off by the arm into the crowd. Rain isn't in the mood. He just found out he has a dad and has daddy issues at the same time. I vote for Frickin' We Bellin' with Fawn and Leo the blonde twink. Sorry, Leos. You're taking one for the team yet again. Fawn led me out of the excited crowd and into a quieter spot, his hand holding mine tightly. We sat down on the edge of the fountain, the lights of the festival far in the distance.
That's a lot to deal with, isn't it? Yeah. Where do I even start? I'm meant to be the next speaker? I would have been if if my father and the speaker didn't have a falling out. I would have been raised in a castle, trying to do something that seems impossible to me. Would you have wanted that? Well, I guess not. I wouldn't give up what I had for anything. Family, all the people I've met. No. I wouldn't have changed a thing. But what now? Do I go back home to Aurelia Cavella and one day become the speaker? I never see any of the others again. Or do I stay in Sid Kayam and pretend that the people back at home aren't struggling? I don't know. Neither option is without its faults. So there's no right choice. Do I even have a choice in the first place? I thought I was fighting against my destiny, but this whole time I've just been playing into it. Whatever you choose, wherever you go, I'll support you 100%. That means any decision will be okay then. As long as we're together. I'm scared.
Me too. Look up at the stars. This reminds me of the day we met. Side by side, looking out to the lake. Simpler times when I think back on it. I want to tell you about my past. If you'll listen.
Yes, yes, I want to know your past. I looked into his eyes. They were downcast, but not hesitant.
It all happened when I was a child.
Yay! Oh, look at the baby. Oh, he's so cute. That day was like any other in Cliffspire. Farmers worked the crops, the smell of fresh bread drifted out of many a home, and children ran through the streets without fear in the world. A small blue-haired boy rushed through this sleepy town with an armful of vegetables. He rounded a corner, went up an alleyway, then sprinted into a small thatch home. It wasn't much to look at, no, but to the child it was heaven. A warm bed and a loving family. What more could a 10-year-old ask for? He passed by a few of his sisters. He had 7 of them, so it was hard not to bump into at least one. Being the youngest, the boy, he was used to being pulled around by his sisters, but he loved it. They meant the world to him, and he to them. He was especially close with Annie, who was only a year older than him.
Auden, is that you?
I brought the vegetables. Grandmother said she'll bring more around later too.
The woman leaned forward and ruffled the child's hair. He grinned in response. Of course, he loved everyone in his family, but his mother meant the world to him. She was strong and hard-working, gentle and loving.
Let us pray to Varus that our next harvest is as bountiful as this one. You should go out and play while I start cooking.
Oh, they believed in Varus. Oh yeah, he's the harvest god. Oh, that's adorable. Yeah, he is so cute. I mean, it's on them. Why are the houses made of twigs in a forest? Y'all were asking for it. But also, what else would they have to build with if they're cut out from everybody else? So, that's his second name. Yeah, his real name is Aden. Aden. He shook his head. He'd much rather stay here and help. His mother laughed, and the two of them stood side by side preparing the vegetables. The day was like any other in Cliffspire, until it wasn't. When he finally laid his head down on the pillow for the night, and his mother had kissed him goodnight, everything changed. As he drifted off to sleep, he had a strange dream, full of pain and fire, and the smell of burning flesh. But he didn't awaken. It was as if something pulled him into his dream and wouldn't let go. His eyes opened just in time to see someone's hand reach down and forcefully pull him out of bed.
Get out of bed, demon child!
Don't get too close. He'll kill you too.
What?
For the first time that morning, he finally looked around. His room was in perfect condition. His sisters lay still asleep in their beds. Without even given a chance to stand on his own feet, he was pulled out of the room and into the street. He looked up at the man who had a hold of him. He wasn't anyone recognizable. When Aden looked closer, he could see why. He was covered in a layer of black soot and had burn marks up his arms. Then he noticed it. The rest of his house didn't look right. Oh! And it wasn't just his house, his neighbors, and all the buildings surrounding him, too. Some were up in flames and others were burnt out husk. Families stood around crying and wailing, holding each other close. He was thrown to the ground, kicked and stomped on. He wailed at them to stop.
Stop, please. I don't understand. I don't understand. What happened?
Demon child! You killed them all! You burned them alive!
Those flames all lead back to you! Cursed, evil child! How long have you been plotting this?
He was asleep in the same room with his sisters. How do you know it wasn't his sisters doing it?
And to go as far as killing his own father.
The boy desperately searched the crowd for his family. In between being beaten, he saw glimpses of blue in the crowd, but no one came to save him. He reached out towards it and finally saw his mother. Her face was screwed up and her eyes were puffy. When their gaze finally crossed each other, a look of horror came over her, and she collapsed to the ground, crying.
Mom, please. I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
He didn't know when he passed out, but he awoke again to the feeling of heavy rain falling over his body. He was drenched from head to toe, covered in bruises and blood. Adam managed to pull himself up to his knees. It wasn't a dream. The houses around him couldn't be called houses anymore. Barely anything was left. No one gathered around him. When he stood, he wasn't sure how many bones had been broken, but he could definitely feel something was wrong. He hurt like he never hurt before. He dragged himself to the nearest house that hadn't been touched. A light poured out from inside, and he peered around the corner. Voices echoed from within.
What do we do with him? We've angered the demon. He won't let us live.
They found his mother's body. Those poor girls are parentless now.
I say, an eye for an eye. We burn him at the stake.
What was that?
No, it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't me. I'm not a demon. He backed out the doorway and ran, at first down the main street, but he became scared. Anyone could follow him. His eyes turned to the forest. Long had he heard stories of the evils that lay within, and it terrified him, but he thought to himself that perhaps he'd fit right in. He veered off the course and ran into the thick green woods, blanketed by the cover of night. His bones ached and his breath caught in his throat. Not once did he stop crying, for his mother and his father, for his sisters, for his village, and lastly, for himself. At some point he fell into a deep sleep, collapsing from exhaustion and hurting all over. Every part of him burned in pain, but he relished the feeling. After all, that's what he deserved. When he next opened his eyes, he was lost in a sea of trees, deep in the forest, away from humanity. A few stray beams of light fell from the canopy, cascading around him. With bleary eyes, he froze. Something was moving in front of him. He blinked, the world around him finally coming into focus. A deer? No, a fawn. Tiny and innocent, curled up in a ball only a short distance away. He approached it quietly, careful not to scare it away. It watched Aiden with big, round eyes, but made no move to leave. He inched closer and closer until finally reaching out to touch it.
Where's your mother, little fawn?
It was all alone, just like Aiden. When he looked at the fawn, he saw a reflection of himself, lost and alone. Witness fawn choosing his new name. Side by side with the small creature, he stared up at the sky, dreaming of a future that wouldn't ever be his.
You know the rest of the story, I think. I threw away my old name and lived in the forest for 10 years, until we met.
I'm actually speechless. I mean, yeah. Like, how did they know it was him exactly? They said the trail lead back to him, but they said his sisters were still sleeping around him in the untouched room. That's 8 kids. And that's how he met up with Bambi and became Snow White. How can I sit here and complain about being blessed with good fortune when Fawn shares a story like that?
I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't understand what happened that night. It
was an accident. You can't blame yourself for that. Your abilities are scary because you don't understand them.
And I never will. I just have to accept that I'm what they told me I was. A demon.
I'd help you, you know, learn to control it.
You don't even understand how to control your own, and I'd never forgive myself if I hurt you.
You're not wrong.
I'm sorry. You're burdened with your own problems right now. I shouldn't add mine.
I reached down and squeezed his hand.
You've been there for me through everything. I'll always be there to listen to you, okay? Plus, you already helped a lot. Should we go back?
I'm sure Sign and Leos will be fine. They can entertain each other. I'm not feeling in a festive mood anyway. The further we got from the celebrations, the more comfortable I felt. Music played in the far-off distance as snow fell around us. It was so calm. Just the two of us, trudging through the snow hand in hand. I tightened my grip around his, and he squeezed my hand back. I'm not alone. The entryway to the Silver Willows was dead quiet. Everyone must have been out celebrating. Our footsteps echoed on the floor as we approached our rooms. When I tried to let go of Fawn's hand to open my door, he clutched it tighter.
Raen. Could I spend the night with you instead?
Oh. Of course you can. You know you're always welcome.
I held the door open and he passed by in a rush. It all happened before I could even react. I pulled Fawn close, holding him by the waist, and my lips found his. It was rushed and heated, a desperate attempt to hold each other closer to make sure neither of us could run away. Fawn wrapped his arms around my neck, kissing me back with fervor. Oh, wow! They both had a rough day, and they going straight to making out. We stumbled through the room, tripping and staggering as we made our way to the bed. We both fell down into a heap, still locked in a kiss. Okay, I do have it in streamer mode, so we're not going to see any pictures. I'm sorry. The text is the same, but there'll be no pictures. I could go back and record that later, but... When our lips finally parted, Fawn looked up at me with big, needy eyes.
Raen.
His hand cupped my cheeks, and a smile that had been missing for quite some time came back. His wide, happy smile was contagious, and I found myself grinning into another kiss.
Hey. Are you laughing at me?
No. I'm not laughing, it's just... You're beautiful, you know that?
Me? Beautiful.
The most beautiful.
He giggled in response, pulling me down to his lips once again. What started... Okay,
So, you're back after all. Did the cold Sidkam nights get to you?
Oh my gosh, I kind of just want to leave it here. That was... Oh gosh, that was something we were aiming for. Wow. Oh wow, I didn't... There we go. I wasn't expecting that to happen. They did it. I'm so proud of the babies. They figured it out all on their own. They stumbled through it. Oh, and they both had a nice time. I might have to cut this out of the YouTube VOD, and but I would still have a link to it. So I think we should end stream now. Yeah, I think we should too. We will be picking this up again next week. So I hope everybody decides to come back and check it out then. Thank you so much for joining. We had a lot of interesting like milestones and facts. Like We found Caspian. We figured out more about his past with the Divine Speaker. We found out what the writing on our arm meant. We found out about Fawn's past. My goodness, everything was thrown at us this episode. Not you panicking. Yes. I was panicking. The funny thing is, the one that walked in here, they didn't look toward the screen, and we had them on the screen at the moment in all their naked glory, and I'm just like, oh, thank goodness they didn't look left. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh man. Yeah, I think I need a break. But yes, I will see you guys next week. I will be streaming the 100 Baby Challenge over on Twitch. If you're interested, please follow my Discord or follow my Twitch to get notifications, but Twitch notifications have been really bad lately. And okay, I am going now to go, I don't know, calm down. And I will see you guys next time.